All right, everybody, let's take a look at what happened in the stock market today. This is the S&P 500 futures. As you can see up here, this is the E-mini. I often trade the MES. For those that follow my YouTube channel and subscribe, much appreciated for following along. Very interesting couple days, 3 days, massive rebound. Look at that, my goodness, awesome. Today, or yesterday I should say, I said that I thought this would come up and possibly touch the 44.72 line, maybe break through. Look at that, guys. Wow. 44.67.5. Just what? About 4.5 points short of this expected resistance line, right? Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious that this candlestick right here was going to be resistance. Okay, and you can draw your Fibonacci too. You're going to get similar type of resistance areas. Okay. Range today, 41.25. So not a huge day by any means, but certainly there was a lot of money made in here. Now, here's the thing. Before I said that this cycle was going to end right here. You know what? I'm not convinced this cycle's over. Not convinced. Though it could be. It could be. That could have been the end of the cycle. We had a kind of a low right there for the cycle. But I'm thinking there was another cycle I looked at, and I thought it was less likely, and it still could be wrong. But I think, let's see, that ends on when? The 24th, which is Sunday. So next Sunday, not this Sunday coming up this weekend. So there's a cycle that could be ending basically Friday, next Friday, somewhere in there. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here. I'm sure everybody else is waiting to see too. Is it going to pop off and keep going? We'll find out going into next week, that's for sure. Now, a couple things to note here. Let me get the pencil. Big Daddy is, not up there telling us that Monday's going to be down, right? Still saying up. And momentum is saying up for sure. Okay? We'll find out for sure what happens on Monday. This thing could do the old, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. We'll keep an eye on that. But there's one thing I want to show everybody, and that's the VIX. Now, normally I have the VIX down here as a line chart, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay, so let's switch over to the VIX. All right, now that we're over here on the VIX, take a look at these cycles, guys. This is the continuous contract, just /VX, right? If you don't know about the VIX, well, there it is right there, the VIX. The futures symbol is /VX. Look at these, look at these monthly cycles. I mean, they're crazy, right? They're just like, look at these things. So some of you might be saying, oh my gosh, there's a lot of money to be made every month. We're just going to make money every month. Money, money, money. Oh my gosh, why can't we just trade the continuous contract to make a lot of money? What? Why aren't people becoming millionaires off of this? Let me get this off the screen. Let me go all the way back to, I got a 5-year chart here. Daily. Look, it's the same thing every time. Let me get the pencil. Why don't we just trade the VIX? Every month it starts, it goes up and comes down. Okay, here's one that didn't do that. Okay, 1 month out of what? 6? Okay, why don't we just keep trading that? Well, I know it looks all rosy and like, oh my gosh, we're going to make a bunch of money. We're just going to trade down into the cycle low every time and make buku bucks. But guess what? These are monthly contracts. And you'll notice almost every single time, the day after expiration, you get this jump. And why is that? Why does it jump almost every time? Jump. Look at that gap. And you're probably going to see that on Monday. Well, it's because volatility, forward-looking contracts, always going to be more volatile. The price is always going to be higher. Always. Well, almost always. I mean, it'd be rare for it not to be. Okay, it does happen occasionally, but it's very rare. Okay, so forward-looking months always have higher prices. Now, let's go. I'm gonna prove it to you, but it doesn't mean we can't trade it. Let's go take a look at the December contracts, which I know is not right now. Let me get the pencil back. You'll notice you can see up here in the right-hand corner. That's October. October. So for those that don't know, the third Tuesday of every month is expiration for the VIX, monthly expiration. There's weekly contracts too if you want to trade the weekly, but I don't trade the VIX big contracts. I trade the VXM. We'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, the monthly contracts, this is going to expire. Last trading date is going to be next Tuesday. Okay. That's why I said on the S&P 500, I'm not thoroughly convinced that that cycle is finished yet. Okay. We'll find out next week. I think Tuesday, which is the last trading day for the VIX, could very well be more accurate, or at least sometime next week could be more accurate time for the S&P 500 cycle to end. Okay, maybe. Okay, so now that you understand that the VIX is monthly and they expire every month, and forward-looking months always going to gap up into the next month because price is always going to be higher. Okay, so here we are at the bottom on the continuous contract. Okay, and Monday, whatever, who knows, maybe it's down, up a little bit, we'll see what it does. And then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, you're going to see that the price jumps up on the continuous contract, okay? But like I said, let's switch over to the December contract. All right, so here on the continuous contract, you know, are there cycles here on this contract as well? Are they there? Let's check. I mean, this is for a lot of those that don't know how to do cycle analysis, and maybe you don't even believe in it or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Let's pick out the cycles. I can see them. I can just see them. Okay, let's pick this one right here. Okay. Somewhere right in that area. Whoops, didn't mean to make that final. But it's actually pretty close. Okay, grab the pen. Now this is not a continuous contract, or this is not the continuous contract. This is the December contract. There's one for November too. Okay, but I don't like to trade the current contract, that monthly contract in that month. No. I like having some time. Okay, I like having time to react. I don't mind trading a month or two out into the future. Okay, I like having some time till we get to expiration. Remember, these are futures contracts. They're not options. Okay, so this is the December contract. And you can see, let's take a look. This cycle, if I get to play nice, yep, ended on 9/26. Okay, so let's take a look. This cycle's a little bit short. This is a 15-day cycle, and there's another cycle too, but let's just stick with the 15-day cycle for now. Okay, you can see it come all the way over there. Sure enough, there was a price low. Yeah, price low. You'll notice at the end of each of these cycles, you don't see a gap up like you did on the continuous contract. There's no gap up, right? There's no gap. You don't see a gap up. You just see the next day after the cycle low, it starts trading up. Look at this month. I should say this. Okay, here's the other cycle. But look at this cycle right here. Look at this cycle, man. The low is somewhere in this area. This is basically the low, probably that candlestick, or that one. Take your pick. Principal variance, that's all acceptable. Okay. But looking at this contract, I keep saying contract. Looking at this cycle right here, very interesting cycle. Starts right there, guys. And look at this thing. Strong. A lot of volatility here. Okay, for the December contract. Right-hand translation. Right? This cycle is very strong all the way to almost to the end, and then boom, comes down for like 3 or 4 days. Okay, big difference. Well, this one did it too. Over here, look at this right hand translation, most of the cycle, and then boom. Not this one. This one's a little bit left hand translation. Ends, meaning it doesn't end in the middle, and then or it doesn't end over here. The high, I should say, I shouldn't say end, but the peak is to the left of the middle of the cycle. It's over here, and then down. Okay. This one, really ideal. Middle of the cycle, comes up right in the middle, down. Okay. This one peaks on the right. Now, you can see as the further we go back, it's less traded, right? Because you don't have a whole lot of people trading the December contract way back here in April, right? April. Yeah, you don't have it's not as traded as heavily back there. Okay. But even though we still have enough data, look at this. Look at this. Pretty close to a cycle low right here within a few days. Okay. And we know by the color coding here that this was still very strong, but then it turned neutral just on one day and went red. And you can see over here, you know, if you just looked at momentum alone, you know, you could have traded that probably somewhere on this candlestick, maybe right there, which would have been a little early. You know, if we took it at this line right here, you could see that it started crossing over. But you know it's going up, it's green, you wait, and then right there, oh my goodness. And Big Daddy says, oh yeah, time to trade it short. Look at that cycle, oh my goodness. Beautiful. Beautiful cycle right there. Now we're still negative, you know, or I should say, yeah, I guess you could call it negative. We're still, you know, got this red colored coating going on, right? That things are going down, but we're not going to ignore momentum even in the downtrend, right? You can see right here, momentum started to cross over. Big Daddy said, hold on, look how far ahead the Big Daddy was of momentum. Like, I mean, even more than that. I'm sorry, I missed it. Even a lot. Look at that. It's like way ahead of it. But we don't get ahead of the momentum. We just know that something's likely to come up, right? The next day or two. Finally, we get a nice crossover right here, and we take a trade. Now, the fact that this is red, you got to be careful, right? You're trading counter to the trend, but still, there was some nice little trading there for like, whatever, 2-3 days. Okay, but you know, and that's what's great about cycle analysis, guys, you know that there's a cycle low coming. Okay, sometimes, like getting back to this cycle right here, sometimes it'll be way on the right-hand side. And even though you know there's a cycle low coming right around this time, we don't ignore momentum and we don't ignore the forecaster. Once that forecaster rolled over right there on that day, boy, oh, that's like gravy. I mean, that's just gravy. So anyway, hope you're getting a really good feel for, you know, we don't look at the continuous contract to set up trades. Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't really look at the continuous VIX contract to like specifically set up your trade. You can look at it for cyclicality, but it's going to be very cyclical. What you want to be looking at is the specific contract. If you want to trade the October, which is going to expire Tuesday, so I wouldn't touch it right now, maybe, but a little late to touch that contract. But if you want to trade the November contract, okay, which would probably be VXX if I remember right. Yeah. You could trade the November contract and look at it. You get it all the way from now until the third Tuesday of November to trade this contract if you wanted to. I would trade this contract right here. Now I know it looks kind of sparse because this is the E-mini VIX, and so it doesn't get traded as heavily. But trust me, there's more than enough volume going on here. Okay, you can still trade this unless you're going to be trading, unless you're trading like hundreds of contracts and you're a real big multimillionaire, then you wouldn't trade these E-minis anyway. Okay, there's more than enough volume going on here on any given day. Okay, and the closer we get to December, the more that this will pick up. But if you want to trade in November because you're feeling kind of sketchy about those contracts, then you could trade this one. Okay, this is the November one. If you want a little more, see how it's a little bit not as sparsely traded, a little heavier traded. Okay, so you could trade that. I'll probably trade the December contracts if I feel like there's enough volume going on. Okay. But I mean, how can you not love these cycles? And we would look at the big contracts, which is what we're looking at here for December, okay? And we would get a sense for the cycles, right? Because this is going to be much more heavily traded, okay? And the data is going to be much more stable and consistent than the E-mini, okay? But we look at this December contracts for the VIX futures. We get a sense for the cycles, and then we go trade the E-mini, okay? Everybody get it? That's how you do it, okay? And you can decide whether you want to trade the November ones or the December ones. The price action should be very similar, okay? Right. So I might, and why am I mentioning that? Because I believe there's a trade coming up for this. Look at this beautiful cycle. Oh my goodness, these cycles are just a thing of beauty. Oh, how can you not trade the VIX, guys? Okay, and why am I mentioning it? Okay, now let's switch over. So this is my big account. We're looking at here is the TOS platform, Think or Swim platform from TD Ameritrade. Okay, that's my big account. So I suspect I'll take some contracts, maybe just like I don't know, maybe just 1 or 2 or 3 contracts, depending. You know, I'm not sure I've made up my mind yet, but I'll probably be trading the VIX here pretty soon. But for the small account. Okay, so here we are on the E-Trade, the screenshot of my E-Trade account, guys. And you'll see I deposited $1,000, right? Still waiting for that to clear, okay? It's going to takes a few days for it to clear. You know, that's how it works, okay? And some of you may be thinking, well, I don't trade futures. I can't trade futures. I don't have enough money for futures. Look at this, guys. The money's not even cleared the E-Trade. The small follow me E-Trade account, right? The small account. Look, I already got futures data, and it's real time. Okay, once you make the deposit, and you've got to go through a little confirmation for your bank account, but once you do that, okay, the data becomes live. Look, you can see the futures. Got 2 accounts here, guys. The individual brokerage account up here. Okay, that you trade your stocks and your options and whatever, your ETFs, it'll all be in that account. And then linked to it, and the TD Ameritrade does the same thing. By law, there has to be a separate account for futures. That's why all the brokers do that. Okay. You can trade the futures, man. You guys and gals who are timid and scared to trade futures, doggone it, enough being intimidated and scared and timid. Okay. You can open up an E-Trade, and now I may need some more bucks than 1,000 to trade futures. I'll know more once I dive in and the account gets opened. Okay. But you can apply, when you apply for the account, just say you want futures. Don't be afraid. Just click, give me futures, baby. And options and all of it. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you when they ask you the questions about what's your experience, I'm not going to tell you what to put. You should put what is appropriate. Okay? Everybody understand what I'm saying to you? Everybody understand what I'm saying to you? Does everybody understand what I'm saying to you when you put your experience when you're applying for the accounts? I hope I don't have to spell it out. You just put in there the truth, right, guys? Right. All right. Right, so you can see I got the futures account right here, right? $1,000. They're gonna open the account. It's there. Do it. Stop freaking wasting time. All right, now let me show you one other thing. I'll switch over to the screenshot that's going to show us how to place an order for futures. All right, here we are. We're on this is called Power E-Trade. Basically, it's just a browser-based application. When you click, and when you log in, you can launch this, okay, and you'll get this Power Trade. They call it Power E-Trade. I would rather have a desktop application, but that's fine. This is browser-based. It's fine. It works. You can see right here, guys, look at this right here. This is the little pop-up you get when you're going to trade. Okay, you get this little pop-up. In this case, when you put the symbol in, I put in the VIX, okay, the E-mini VIX contract for December. It automatically switches over to futures, right? It's going to switch. It knows you're trying to trade futures. It switches over. The drop-down will show futures, and in here you're also going to see futures options because you can trade options on futures. So for your options traders, if you want to trade options on futures, you can do that too. Okay? So obviously I'm not able to place a trade yet because I'm still waiting for the money to come through. Okay? And we may not trade futures right away in the small account because there might not be enough money to do it, but I'm just showing you where you want to get to. Okay? You want to get to the place where you can trade futures because that's where the big money is made, guys and gals. Okay? Trust me on that. That's what you really want to get to. And we're going to try to figure out a way to take that $1,000 right there. Okay? Right there, $1,000. Okay? And try to find a way to take this $1,000 and bolster this account upward, okay? And eventually, maybe right away or eventually, depending on what each trade's going to require us to do, okay? Because I won't really know for sure until I get in there, okay? Until we start trading, we'll have to see what they allow and don't allow. I got a feeling it's going to require more than $1,000 to trade futures, but we'll see what happens, okay? I don't know if they're going to let me trade like some like really low initial margin stuff on like maybe some grains, but they may say, hey, you don't have enough. You need 2,500 to do that. They may say or something like that. Okay. Sorry about the chicken scratch. Okay. So we'll see what they say. Okay, but I'm just letting you guys know for those that are going to follow along on the small account. Yes, we could definitely trade futures depending on how much money is going to be in the account. Okay, so it's a beautiful thing. We may have to trade some SPY. We may have to trade some stock. We may have to do, more than likely, guys, don't expect a whole lot of intraday trading on $1,000, okay? We're not going to be doing penny stock trades. I'm not going to do that garbage, okay? We may have to do some swing trades in the beginning, okay, on this account to get it going. Okay, because $1,000 is kind of limited, right? We're going to be a little bit limited in what we can do. Don't expect to be seeing massive trades in this little account in the beginning. Oh, we day traded this thing and made $1 million in one day. Got to be realistic, guys and gals. More than likely, $1,000, we're going to be maybe limited a little bit to swing trades, and that's fine. Okay, hold feet together, guys and gals. We're going to take this account going up, and you guys can follow along. I got to figure out the whole streaming thing. That I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Is it going to be 15 minutes a day, half an hour? I'm not going to sit and stream all day, guys. That's probably not going to happen. Okay, so for those that think there's no reason to stream all day. You want to know why? That would be called boring. On $1,000, you know, don't expect me to be doing trades every 5 seconds. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get bored and go do something else in life. Okay, so I'll probably stream this, you know, I don't know, 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day. And I'll let everybody know on this channel right here, you know, okay, guys, tomorrow I plan on streaming at the open. Or I'm going to stream at noon. Whatever. I'll let everybody know. Okay? All right? And I'll try to set up trades. There may not be a trade every day, especially if we're waiting for a swing trade to do what? Waiting for the swing trade to mature. Okay? Waiting for the swing trade to mature so that we can close it and make the money and move on to the next trade. Okay? So for you guys and gals out there that have small account like this, you know, day trading on $1,000, you know, that's going to be, if you're doing that and you're making a lot of money, hey, comment in the comment section that I have a $1,000 account and I day trade. I don't see it happening unless you have an offshore account. Most brokers are not going to allow you to day trade on $1,000. So anybody that tells you they're day trading on a U.S. brokerage account on $1,000, they're probably lying to you. Okay, you can't day trade on $1,000 on a U.S. brokerage account. If you're offshore, and there are some offshore brokerage accounts that let you day trade on smaller money, and they're not going to hold you to the U.S. day trading pattern. Okay, so for those people who I don't know, YouTube channels, if you hear people saying they're day trading on this small account like that, that's baloney. Now, I know one or two traders that have offshore accounts, and they do day trade on small accounts, and that's great, but that's not what we're going to be doing. We're doing E-Trade. That's a U.S.-based broker, okay? So we're not going to be doing day trades on a $1,000 account, okay? So we're going to have to do swing trades, guys. And then once we get the account up and going, and here's the beauty. I'm going to finish up with this. Why do we want to go towards futures? Because there is no day trade, so you can spell this with the mouse, day trade pattern rule. That's right. For those that didn't know, in futures, what am I saying? Basically, you can day trade futures. There's no day trade pattern rule. Okay, that rule doesn't exist in futures. TD Ameritrade's been a little bit of a, I don't want to knock them, but they a little bit of a bugaboo. Sometimes they enforce day trading pattern rules on futures accounts, and oh my gosh, that gets a little annoying. But anyway, there's no day trading pattern rule on futures, and that's why we want to go towards futures. We can trade all day long. Yes, even on small money, though there may be a minimum, like $2,500 or $2,000, okay, whatever it is. We may be limited to some grains trades and stuff, and may not be able to trade the VIX, the E-mini VIX right away. Okay, I may have to do that in the big account for a while. Okay, and on this account, we may have to do something different. But once this account gets open, guys, we're trying to get it towards where we're going to bolster the account enough, probably on swing trades, where we can get it going and start trading the futures, because we won't be limited by day trading pattern rules. Everybody got that? That one of the big advantages of trading futures, everybody, is no day trade pattern rule. You can trade to your heart's desire. Okay? Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the content today. I have a really good feeling about moving forward on the little account. I'm looking forward to possibly next week taking a trade on the E-mini VIX. Okay, I might just not day trade. Listen to me now, day trade. Might not trade the S&P 500 futures, because I'm getting a really good feeling about the VIX. I might trade that. Okay, so you guys can follow along on that as well. Okay. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Everybody, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos I put them out. I'll talk to you all real soon again next time.